We continue to get closer to the 2022 World Cup, but the national team of Iran continues to get caught up in drama. On today's episode, we will take a look at the division that is taking place in Team Melli. Yes, it is time for Team Melli Talk. Is the Iranian Football Federation really contemplating a coaching change 4 months before the 2022 World Cup? Hey everyone, glad you're back for some more Team Melli Talk. Now, let's not sugarcoat anything or beat around the bush. Things are bad right now. And in a previous edition of Team Melli Talk, I shared my concerns after that 2-1 loss to Algeria. Have a look. But what really concerns me this time around is the reports that I heard involving many Team Melli players refusing to talk to the press about the 2-1 loss to Algeria. Now this makes me think that Dragan Skocic has lost control of the locker room. Like I said, my concern was Dragan Skocic losing control of the locker room, and now it looks like that is exactly what has happened. And in fact, there are now 2 camps within Team Melli. Let's have a look, starting with Team Azmoun, which besides Azmoun consists of Sadegh Moharrami, Ahmad Nurollahi, Ali Reza Behranvand, Hossein Kenani, Ali Golizadeh, and Shoja Khaliazadeh. As for the other camp, Ali Reza Jahanbash and Mehdi Taremi are joined by Ehsan Hajsafi, Mortaza Pourali Ganji, Saeed Izzatullahi, Omid Ebrahimi, Saman Godus, Karim Ansari Fard, and Majid Hosseini. I apologize if I left out anybody. There's been plenty of action on social media, but first let's start with what Azmoun's camp had to say. Thank you for the support from the government. We are telling everyone that under the circumstances, every single one of the Team Melli players are united and on the same page, including the coaching staff. We want to make sure that the Iranian people are happy with our performance at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Please support Team Melli in this sensitive time. Us players ask to please not change anything. Leave everything for after the World Cup. Now let's see what the other Team Melli camp had to say. The story that got posted today does not speak for Team Melli players. We do not agree with it, and it is against our will. This statement is an insult to Team Melli, it is untrue, and it was based on personal gains of certain players. This intention has made Team Melli divided in half. We are all soldiers of Iran, fighting for the flag, but these lies that get spread make our challenge even more difficult than it already is. Now this is a very frustrating situation. Us diehard Team Melli supporters cannot be happy about this. And it's at moments like these where I got to go back to the 2006 World Cup in Germany and remember the controversy that surrounded Ali Daei. And during that time, I must say I have no problem admitting that I was 100% against Ali Daei. He was way past his prime and he had no business playing for Iran at the 2006 World Cup. And to this day, I refuse to change my opinion on that matter. But when talking about the current situation, this is tough because let's just face it, whatever camp you side with, you're pretty much saying that the players from that other camp should be excluded and not be part of Iran's team at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And like I said, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to take sides just like that. All I know is this is not good for Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Dragan Skocic responded on social media with a long message that included the reasons why he deserves to be head coach of Iran at the 2022 World Cup. But he also addressed the Instagram stories by saying, quote, "A group of players showed their support for me. I appreciate it, but it wasn't necessary. Also, another group of players didn't see the need for the post, which is respectable to me. What we need now more than ever is solidarity," end quote. Dragan Skocic also pointed out that he deserves to be head coach of Iran at the 2022 World Cup because the results speak for themselves. And let's not forget that when he became head coach of Iran, Iran was very close to possibly being eliminated from World Cup qualifying. Now the truth is, I understand Dragan Skocic's reasoning for saying that he should be Iran's coach at the 2022 World Cup. It makes sense. He was head coach of Iran and guided them to the World Cup. But sadly, a lot of Team Melli supporters will be quick to say that Iran's group in the final round was very easy and that the players pretty much took it upon themselves to do what they had to do to get to the World Cup. But we also cannot forget that we did see some weaknesses exposed in Iran's games in the final round of qualifying. Rumor has it that Carlos Queiroz might be on his way back to the national team of Iran. Of course, we can never forget all the great things that Carlos Queiroz did for Team Melli. We were all sad when he officially resigned as head coach of Iran back in 2019. Some of us just couldn't accept it. But is Carlos Queiroz the answer to Iran's problems? Well, the short answer is yes, and he is definitely more experienced than Dragan Skocic. But at this moment, all I want is for Team Melli to be united, because this is the only way that Team Melli will be successful at the World Cup. Now, what about you? Do you want Carlos Queiroz to return as head coach of Iran? Leave a comment down below. Always look forward to getting your input. Right now, we have a divided Team Melli, but we also have to remember that there has always been division in the Iranian Football Federation. But now it just hurts that much extra that there is division amongst our Team Melli footballers. Now, to finish this edition of Team Melli Talk, like we said earlier, rumor has it that Dragan Skocic is on his way out as head coach of Iran. But when I think about it now, there wouldn't be a lot of candidates lined up to replace Dragan Skocic. And besides Carlos Queiroz, the only other two options I could think of are Ali Daei or Javad Nekounam. And of course, if it were my choice, I'd right away go with Javad Nekounam. But at the end of the day, it is difficult to believe the news we hear from the Iranian media. No matter what happens, Iranian football fans can speculate all they want. But if Dragan Skocic does get sacked, I think the story that the majority of Iranian football fans will accept is that the Iranian Football Federation made a big mistake in hiring a yes man who couldn't control the locker room. And that's it, everybody, for this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammelitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Make sure you find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk.